First up, why hasn't Kalani Sitake been signed to a contract extension? His current deal is up after the 2020 season, and Holmoe says it's just too early right now.
This isn't his last year, and we've rarely gone into the last year of a contract, and it's not his last year. So he has more than 1 year left on his contract. I've spoken with Kalani before it even came up, just to make sure. We talk all the time. So I know exactly where he stands. He knows exactly where I stand. And we don't really, we don't talk about it. It externally might have forced the issue where I've gone to him and looked him in the eye and said, "How you doing, brother?" And he goes, "I'm doing fine." And I'm saying, "Look, great. Let's play ball."
Despite no extension offer yet, Holmoe said he was very happy how the Cougars went from 4 wins in 2017 to 7 last year.
We made progress. It was very good. We had a difficult season the year before, and we made progress. And certainly there's many areas to be excited about. There's certain areas that we still need to continue to show growth and development, and we're working on those right now.
BYU released their football schedule this week, and they're the only team in the country that opens their season against 4 straight Power 5 schools in Utah, Tennessee, USC, and Washington.
I'm really excited about it. You know, if you were to take each one of those teams at their very best, it would be wicked. But I don't know if each one of those teams is at their very best in their history right now, including BYU. So I think that we have a really good shot to win a large number of games next year.
Holmoe is almost relieved that Utah agreed to extend the rivalry series another 2 years through 2024.
I'm really happy with it. I'm grateful to Utah that they extended that for 2 years to where it went to. You all know how I feel about it, and I've said before that it's a different perspective from Utah being in a conference in the Pac-12 as us independent. We like to get the biggest games that we can. The Pac-12 teams don't necessarily try to get the biggest games that they can. But for Utah, it's unique, and they understand the rivalry.
Holmoe hopes to hear sometime this year about BYU's appeal of the NCAA sanctions on the basketball program, in which they had to vacate some 47 victories because Nick Emery accepted improper benefits, a penalty he says was way too harsh.
And that was the main thing, that the vacation of wins didn't feel like it was an accurate adjudication based on the details of the case, and that's the appeal. We're just waiting our time, and the appeal process, I'm glad that we have it, looking forward to it. It's kind of a long process where not a lot is occurring at this time, but we're waiting for the time where we'll have our voice, and I feel really good about where it is and what will happen at that time.
BYU's contract with ESPN expires this year, but they are in negotiations for a new deal. BYU is set to play in the Hawaii Bowl this coming season, but nothing is set beyond that.
We've had a number of potential bowls contact us and say they wanted to create a bowl where we would be the anchor team. Interesting thought. But with being with ESPN, that would be something that they would determine.
Another thing ESPN determines is the start times of games. BYU fans have long complained about the late starts, but Holmoe says there's really nothing they can do.
We're in this dilemma now, and it's not just BYU, it's every conference, that the broadcast entities are paying those teams a lot of money for their services. You're going to play when they tell you. It's a double-edged sword because it does affect our fans. I totally understand that. But it's like you can have one or the other.
As for getting into a Power 5 football conference, Holmoe was surprised it took so long to ask.
42 minutes in.
But still, there's nothing new to report.
Every once in a blue moon, someone gets a wild hair and just wants to bring it up and say something about it. It doesn't surprise me. I kind of like it. I like the fact that it gets brought up every once in a while. But it really, really, really comes down to a few of the big-time movers and shakers and what they want to do. So it's not so much about what I get. I actually get mailers from people across the country with, here's the solution that is going to solve everybody's problem. I think it's cool that people are thinking about that. Unrealistic, not even close to possible, but they spend a lot of time on it. But it really comes down to some of the schools at the top of the conferences determining what they're going to do.
Holmoe receives a lot of input from BYU fans, and even if they're frustrated with the way things are going, he loves it.
Some people get frustrated, and I actually like it when people send me letters saying, I'm not coming to any more games for a year. I love it that people are passionate about what we do. If we don't have passion, we're in deep trouble. But our donors have been tremendous. We're not in P5 money, but we're competing with P5 schools very well.
Now in his 14th year as BYU's athletic director, Holmoe doesn't know how much longer he'll continue, but he wants to leave the program in the best shape possible.
There's a time where I'm getting older where it'll be best for me to pass the baton, and I want to do that. I don't want to drop the baton and have someone scramble and pick it up. I want to pass that baton smoothly, and so I think about that sometimes, but it doesn't consume me, believe me.